Here we are with after today's game with Bristol United manager John Gilbertson and man of the match second week, Josh Gilbertson. Today finished Bristol United 5, Lions reserves 2. John, give us your immediate thoughts on the game today.
Good game, good win. Bit of a different game this week. I didn't think we were so good as we was last week. I think the sort of conditions was a little bit different size pitch this week, but it was a decent performance from us. It's a good win, decent performance. I wouldn't sort of go over the top with it. Like I said, I thought we was better last week, and at times today, I thought we played decent football. I thought we could have played a lot more. I thought we could have got the ball down in certain situations and played football more than we did. But sometimes in football, you ain't always going to get your own way, and the pleasing thing of not the side of it today with not playing the football, we stood up and we looked pretty sort of strong when we had to mix it up a little bit. But overall, I'm more than happy with that performance. Even like I said, it probably didn't hit the standards that we did last week. However, that was still a million times better than what we've had in the previous sort of month of sort of poor performances. So overall, I'm pleased. That 5-2 win away from home is always I'm always going to be happy with that.
So going into the game, you set the tactics out beforehand, obviously the message to the players. And like you said, despite obviously being ahead in the game in the first half, was there anything, would you say about the performance not as strong as last week that you looked at and felt you needed to change in the game?
Yeah, I thought sort of the formation we started with today, and like I said, we do change formations from time to time, and then we started with a sort of 4-1-3-2 today. And although we was make no bones about it, in ultimate control the first half. It was 3-1 up at half time. I felt we was just getting it done a little bit too in the wide areas because our sort of fullbacks was exposed a little bit. And it is hard for the midfielders. I was a bit critical of the midfielders at half time in terms of upping the effort, but when you're playing with a free in midfield, it's suddenly hard to sort of cover both wings when they're if they switch to play and play down the flank. So we changed it about 5 minutes into the second half to just a standard 4-4-2, and from then on, I thought we looked pretty comfortable and controlled the game really. But that was a change that needed to be made the second half, just to protect not the lead, but just to protect the game a little bit more, stop us getting doubled up on.
So moving forward then into future games, obviously what you've just said, how do you plan to adapt and address maybe the weaknesses that were shown today in the system? Obviously we've started to play, and how do you move forward to try to eliminate those errors and get the performance higher again?
Well, we're probably missing our player of the season so far, our captain Callum today. I thought he was a big miss in the middle of the field for us because he's calm, he's a good footballer, and he gets the ball down and do the simple things very well. So that was a big miss for us in the middle three today. In terms of sort of prep, I said it's a bit hard at our level because next week we could play a different formation, same formation, and we don't know the opposition we're coming up. Sometimes if they play through the middle four, the 4-1-3-2 suits us fine and we nullify any threats. But then it's just being responsive in games as a manager to see where the potential threats are. Like I said today, we was certainly getting doubled up on down the wing, especially the first 5-10 of the second half. And then it's just responding. The lads are clever enough, they're good enough. We've prepped and sort of played in quite a few formations, so they know when we make a switch what the job roles are.
Right, so obviously with that then, a 5-2 win is a good result and a good performance. So, I mean, what's the key areas? Where do you think the team excelled, and maybe any players that contributed, and what we can take forward moving into the next game?
I think as a manager, I think our back four again today I thought looked solid. The two centre halves in Josh Cleveley and Sam Morgan I thought looked solid, and Sam's certainly second half's come out stepping out with the ball and getting some important blocks. The fullbacks, they had a pretty good, decent first game. I thought it was superb in the second half. As a manager, you're never happy, and the one area today, we scored 5 goals. The one area today, I think, for me in terms of focus on, was the thought process and the choices we made up front with the strikers. I think there's some areas today when we pass when we should be shooting, we're shooting when we should be passing, and it was just the selection of what that player or players they sort of did today, and that needs a little bit of work. That needs a little bit of concentration on from the front two, because there's things we worked on the training pitch that we didn't do today. and we've got away because we won 5-2, and another day that could cost us. So you're never really happy as a manager, but that area of focus, even though we've scored 5 today, we need to be sharper and a bit cleverer up front.
Moving on to a question for Josh then. Second week in a row, man of the match, in a new position for you. How do you think you've adapted to the role in the team, and how do you think you can improve it going forward?
Well, going into my new role, I feel I was focusing on, we've been conceding a lot of goals recently, so focusing on the defending side of it, which I think we've linked up very well between the midfield and the defence, and focusing on just getting that ball down and playing it. As we know, we want to get into the groove of just playing football, playing our way, and not opening it every 2 seconds. We want to control the game. So I feel adapt to my position like that. I think I've done pretty decently, and I hope to grow as a player.
Yeah, he done well today, Josh, and deserving man of the match. That trick from scored sort of 3 goals from deep. Great performance today.
So back to John then, one final question. Obviously, looking back on the season so far, not the best start, as we obviously people that watch the videos will be aware, but stripping it back to basics, now 2 games, 2 wins, 2 decent performances. So,
yeah.
I mean, what's your overall thoughts on where we are at this minute?
I think we're moving, as you said, moving in the right direction, and for me, like, the 2 wins is a bonus, because make no bones, it's alright me saying as a manager, don't worry about the wins, let's worry about performance. But it's a results. We need results to start winning and sort of breed the confidence in the side. But you're right, into 2 games ago and stripping it back to basics. That's the pleasing thing for me now moving forward, to settle down into a rhythm where the default is naturally playing football, which is our side really. We just strayed from that. It's cliche, and every manager in every interview says this, but it's just 1 game at a time now. We're focused, we're not worried about the league. We winning our individual games with good performances, then we're going to end up where we're going to end up. But it's still that focus now coming up to Christmas. I want to see the performances of today, last week, become the standard, become the norm. And even though we've played well in 2 games, I still don't think we're nowhere near the levels what we can be. So you've got to start somewhere, and the basics, getting back to the basics, and just sort of putting those building blocks in, which we've done last week and this week, and we'll continue to do the week after. But it's a pleasing turnaround so far. 2 victories is always going to be a fantastic result. 2 away games, but the real pleasing thing for me, we're now looking like we're starting to get back to our default of playing football, which makes us a dangerous side. So yeah, every game as it comes, and we'll see where it sort of takes us. But yeah, it's the focus is still going to be on playing our football, as opposed to looking at, we need to get out of the league, 3-4 points, whatever it might be, might take us out. That could come later, second half of the season. Alright, well, thank you both for your time today, and we'll see you on the next one. Up the Bolts!